welcome back to Shemsuniverse. So today, guys, we're going to discuss Mars and all of the different zodiac signs. So when we discuss Mars, guys, this has to do with our animal instincts, our sort of natural reptilian brain in regards to how we respond to external stimuli. So this really tells us a lot about where we take action the most kind of naturally, and how our aggression and sort of confrontational ability, our sexual sort of dialogue, this is how it interprets in the real world. So when you think of Mars, always think about your animal instincts and how you kind of take action in the real world without really thinking about it. It's more of an instinctive sort of thing. All right? So let's get right into it. So when we have Mars in Aries, what this means is this is somebody who doesn't really stop to smell the roses. This is a completely go, 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 fired up person. When they're meeting an intimate partner, they know how to just go, be the person that takes the forefront. This is a very dynamic position to have Mars. This really fires them up. So when you have Mars in Aries, you're somebody who really has a lot of dynamicism, innovative ability, and you're somebody who can take the lead without really thinking about it. It kind of just comes naturally to you. So whatever endeavor you do, you're just going to naturally take the lead. If you're in an intimate relation, you're going to take the lead. Within friendships, you're going to be in that leadership position because people are going to really like your dynamicism, your aggression, your passion for what you're doing. And that really leads you to getting a lot done. Be wary of burning out a little bit too fast if you innovate on something and it doesn't work right away. Make sure you have that staying power to keep going regardless. Most of the time you guys do, but for the ones that don't, if you guys have a softer sort of sun sign or moon sign, make sure that you still keep that staying power. When you have Mars in Aries, you really have the ability to do a lot when it comes to innovation, but you need to keep that concentrated effort on your goal. All right? Moving on next, we have Mars in Taurus. Mars in Taurus is more about a very calm, sort of cold, sort of like a coquette sort of manner to them. They really are calm and easygoing for what it seems, but if they're pushed too far, Mars in Taurus will completely run you over, just because it is a fixed sign. And what happens is when you have Mars there, it gives the person the ability to have a lot of staying power. So what that means is if they have a goal or a mission in mind, they're going to stay with it. They're going to make processes sort of naturally to get what they want. And they won't even begin to actually do something until they know that they can actually do it. So unlike with Aries where they'll just go, 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 the Taurus is more of a slow and steady sort of person where when you have Mars there, for them to take action, they have to be sure that action is going to bring forth fruitful results. Be wary of being overly critical or overly judgmental of people that are more, passionate about things, and make sure that you do trust your process to a point where you cannot make all the variables. So if there's certain things in your life where it's like, I want to start my own business, but I'm not sure about the economy, blah, 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 you still have to take chances to get the things that you want in life. So your natural animal instinct is more about security and stability and keeping grounded because it's an earth sign. So just make sure that when you're taking action, understand that you always have to account risk into it and just calculate it correctly and keep it moving. If you don't do that, you're not going to end up doing anything with your life. So be wary of being too cautious, but your process and your detail orientation is something that can be truly admired upon, and it does get you guys a lot in life. Things like great relationships and nice luxury goods, houses, cars. Those are all things that fall under Taurus because you guys are very, very adamant about getting them and showing the results of hard work. But just be wary, like I said, of just being too critical of yourself and of others. Next, I want to go to Gemini. So when we have Mars in Gemini, this is a bit of a scattered sort of energy. The action that you guys will take, even towards intimate relations, will be more than one person. You might fall in love, then fall out of love. Mars in Gemini also, when you go to start businesses or take action towards like anything that you kind of want, they can switch from day to day, week to week, month to month. So make sure that when you're actually making the decision to do something, that it actually is coming from the mind and from the heart, and that you have that sort of cohesiveness there. So you're going to stay with it, and then you can use your genius mind to get things done. Be wary when these Mars and Gemini people are irritated or sort of triggered by anything, they attack you with their words. And this is you, then just make sure that you are filtrating your words. It's good to be raw and be very direct with people, but when you're just using words to be sort of critical and just to hurt them, use them as weapons, this is going to lead to resentment on your part, and from the person that you're doing it, they're not going to respect you as much. So just be very careful with your words. They do hold a lot of power. Mars gives them that extra sort of vigor, so they can penetrate reality. Your words are going to help you manifest. If I had Mars in Gemini, my main thing would be to use affirmations to get what I want. Moving on next, we have Mars in Cancer. Mars in Cancer is all about emotional intelligence. So these type of people are not very direct in confrontations. They're sort of passive aggressive. Their emotions run very deep, so it's hard for them to really express all of it at one given time. But Mars in Cancer does give you the gift of sort of being able to social network and intuitively understand people quite well. Your animal instincts is more so to go into safe and positive domains. So when you sense danger, I'm not saying you guys are always going to fight, but you guys rarely want to fight right away. You guys will fight if you're really put in a corner. The crab will go at it, but it really takes a lot for you guys to take that set action. With that being said, it also takes a lot for you guys to take action when it comes to getting the things that you want in life. You guys may be a little bit too indirect, a little bit too passive. What you want to do is make sure that you're using the energy of Mars through your emotions, saying what excites you, what makes you happy, what makes you feel very passionate, what would make you wake up at like what I'm doing right now. I'm doing this video at like 7 a.m. It's going to be uploaded later, but what's going to make you get up and do that? Once you can understand what's actually going to allow you to get up and do something productive and really come into like one with your emotions and be able to utilize them, that's where the weapon is for you. The weaponization of Mars in Cancer is the weaponization of your emotions to manifest what you want. If your emotions are not entangled with what you want, it's useless. It's pretty much useless for you to bother with it. This doesn't go the same with all the signs, but with Cancer, it definitely does. You need to find a passion in order to have the staying power that you so strongly desire. Because if you don't have that, then perseverance, the endurance to overcome the obstacles of getting what you want, whether that be through intimacy or through some sort of economic need, it's not going to be met because the emotions just simply aren't there. All right. Moving on next, we have Mars in Leo. Mars in Leo is a fixed fire sign. So when Mars in Leo is here, this makes somebody very like fiery, competitive. They want to be noticed. They want to be on stage. Your actions are sort of, I'll do something. I don't care about being seen as a failure. I'm going to do it because I want to do it. This is a very individualistic sort of mind state. And when you have Mars in Leo, it makes you somebody who will really just move like a lion, where everywhere you go, you view yourself as the alpha. The actions that you take will sort of put you in that sort of hierarchy, whether you're a man or a woman. People view you as sort of that risk taker, the person that's willing to just go all out and get what they want in life. So this is very, very good. Be wary in relationships of just being a little bit too overindulgent in sex, and also just with foods and different things like that. You guys have a very, very strong passion, but that passion needs to be directed towards a singular goal or purpose in order for your abilities to fully manifest. Moving on next, we have Mars within Virgo. Mars within Virgo, it's sort of polar opposites as you go through the zodiac signs. If you notice, they always go like from very aggressive to passive to very aggressive again to passive. So it's very interesting. When we get to Virgo now, we have somebody who could be, they have anger, but it will come out through like criticism and nagging versus directly like with a Leo or Aries where they're just going to come at you and attack you full out. The animal instinct here is to really have everything safe and secure through using detail orientation. So people that have Mars in Virgo, or people that are going to look at their life as something that needs to be fixed, their action that they're going to take is always going to be in organizing things, being meticulous, putting them in the right place, and categorizing things so that they actually can achieve success. Without those things put in place, they're not really going to feel like their life is under control. They need control through the chaos. They need order. Without that, they're always going to be off their equilibrium, and they're just not going to find contentment within their life. So if this is you, focus on orderliness, focus on your discipline, and make sure that you don't take on too many things at once. A lot of the other things that you guys will do is because you want to be so responsible, you'll take on the burdens of other people and then you have your own. What you want to do is just balance everything. If you're going to take on a responsibility because you're in a leadership role, that's great, but don't overburden yourself to the point where you actually lose your natural competency. All right? Moving on next, we have Mars in Libra. Mars in Libra is a bit of a procrastination sort of sign, just because Libra is all about balance and taking in different variables. What happens when you have Mars in Libra is people end up literally, they look at life in a sense of there's a series of choices and they try to weigh out their odds and make the best sort of decision. But when you're weighing out all those odds, you end up not coming to any decision. Over-analysis leads to paralysis, and that's the key component for Mars and Libra. You guys aren't taking enough time to actually say, what's the action that I can take now that's going to bring me some results? Instead, you guys are stuck in your mind thinking about, oh, what's going to be the cause and effect of this, the cause and effect of this? That's because Libra is very karmic. It's good to have that sort of karmic energy and understanding the relation of cause and effect, but you need to obviously be the cause in your own life to then produce the effects that you want. Moving on next, we have Mars in Scorpio. Mars in Scorpio is a very daredevil, very dark, taboo sort of sign. This is where Mars really gets exhilarated a lot, just because Mars in Scorpio, they want to turn the impossible into possible. So if you tell a Mars in Scorpio person that, oh, you can't do that, they're going to make it their purpose to do it just to prove you wrong. Even if they don't care about it that much, they'll prove you wrong. They're very, very competitive, but they don't really they're not as flamboyant, or they're not airing it out the way in which Aries and Leo do. It's more of like a crocodile under the water, and you don't really see it coming until it's there. So when you have Mars and Scorpio, these are the type of people that are very cold, analytic. They're really the cold-hearted predator, and that's the main thing. They're the person that really is gonna aim at something, plan for it, stay fixed on it, and then get it. And they have passion, but it's just not really seen on the outskirts. You really have to know them very well to understand what they actually care about. These people are very methodical, very disciplined, very calculative, very cunning. And when you have Mars in that position, it just makes you a very natural born predator. So when it comes to meeting people for intimate relations, a Mars and Scorpio person will come up to you in the mall and you'll be the one that's intimidated. If they want to ask you on a date, they don't feel intimidated by asking you. They're going to make you feel intimidated with the way in which they have that natural boldness. So this is a very strong one to have. It really gives you that sort of alpha presence without you really trying to have it and without you really showing that you have it. But people just sense it naturally off of your aura. Just be wary of taking advantage of people, just being overly predatorial to the point where you're actually doing that with friends and family as well. Make sure that that predator perspective is actually put to business and put to competition and not on the people that are on your side. All right. Moving on next, we have Mars in Sagittarius. So when we have Mars in Sagittarius, this kind of goes to that other polarity again. There is high passion here. Unlike with Scorpio, it's high passion, very fiery. These people are very innovative, very knowledgeable. People that want to take action here, they're going to take action towards learning and learning as much as they can to feel safe and secure. The problem is that when they undertake certain endeavors, when they go to start a business, when they go to get a new job, when they are going through school, if they meet any obstacles in their life when it comes to meeting that grand purpose, the action that they take is they take action to kind of avert from it. They don't want to really think about it. If they feel like there's an obstacle there, they're just going to want to take time away just to get away from that problem instead of attacking it directly the way the Scorpio would. They're going to actually run away from the problem and try to meditate on it and then come back to it later. It doesn't mean that they're going to give up, but they're going to run away and come back later. It's sort of like a version of escapism with meditation in it as well. Be wary of just escaping too much. Be wary of using alcohol, drugs to escape and taking certain activities that are just going to be toxic to your life and to your relationships. Make sure that you are staying on task. Make sure that you don't run away too often, as people will view that as cowardice and people will just view that as you're somebody that they cannot really depend on. So you guys have a lot of high intelligence. You guys can definitely be very, very successful. It's definitely a double fire energy, but make sure that that fire doesn't dissipate because you want to escape from a certain problem. All right. Moving on next, we have Mars in Capricorn. Mars in Capricorn is like the most similar to Mars in Scorpio in the sense that Capricorn people, they have that Saturn energy. They want to be controlled. They want to be disciplined. There's darkness. There's dullness there. With that darkness, these people really view life in a sort of black and white manner, very similar to Libra. However, they just understand that there's always going to be a cause and effect, and they're more on the deliberation of, I'm going to be that cause, and I'm going to cause some effects, and then see how it goes. So even if they don't really meet their mark right away, because of the dullness of Saturn associated with Mars, they have the fire and the action energy to really go forth and make things happen, and then if things don't work out, they weren't really that passionate about it to really care. So it's sort of like being able to take action, but being detached at the same time. This is definitely a very great superpower. This is great for people that want to get into like high risk stock trading, different investments, sports, anything to do with like daredevil activities. These people are very good for it just because they understand there's always going to be good and bad with everything, but they're willing to undertake that risk and see where it goes. Just be wary of being too cold with people that are more warm and more sensitive. If you guys have people like that in your family or friendship groups, don't judge them if they're not really as sort of solid-minded as you and sort of fixed on things. That doesn't come very naturally to a lot of people, so just be very patient with others. Moving on next, we have Mars in Aquarius. Mars in Aquarius is similar to Capricorn, Scorpio as well. They're very, very individualistic, very much that black sheep. The Mars in Aquarius people are very much into having an independent sort of mind. They want to take action that is not affected by external circumstances, meaning they're very, very obsessed with what's going on with their own mind and heart, and then coming to decisions based on what's happening internally. If there's anything that they view as affecting them from the external, they'll exit out before actually taking action. The only thing here is that because you guys want to go your own way so badly, sometimes you try to reinvent the wheel, and you guys will go to the point of trying to do something that's already been done and there's a formula for it already. You might as well just follow that formula and get it done versus trying to do it your own way all of the time. It's good to be an individual, it's good to be an innovator, it's good to have new ideas, but still understand everybody that's great has masters, has mentors, has teachers that have helped them progress along the way. When it comes to intimate relations, these people are very much associated with being alone. They don't really care about having relations with others. They understand that people will come in and out of their life, and they have that sort of detached manner from it. Also, be wary of, there are people that are going to be very, very good for you guys. If you have Mars in Aquarius, you definitely will have some sort of soulmate, whether that be somebody else with a very similar natal chart, or if they might have a polar opposite one, because it's going to help you balance. Be more appreciative of other people's life paths, other people's energy, other people's spirit, and you'll find that your life progresses a lot better. You are an individual, but understand that everybody else has the right to be an individual as well. Last but not least, we have Mars in Pisces. Mars in Pisces comes from a very spiritual connotation. So these are the people that they really want to find their passion, find the energy through a very spiritual sort of way. They'll look for things like symbolism. They're the type of people that read their tarots, their horoscopes to come to be able to take action. They want to make sure it comes from the universe or comes from whatever religion or belief system or ideology that they have. And usually that comes from some sort of sixth sense. The action that they take is usually going to have a lot of staying power just simply because it comes from a place where they view it as a necessity. They view their mission as something that they have to do or they're going to die trying to do it. So this is a very great place to have it because it intuitively makes you somebody who has a warrior sort of mind state. Just be wary of emotional volatility when it comes to your journey. A lot of people that have Mars and Pisces can be overly critical of themselves, too judgmental, and they end up just failing just because their emotional volatility mixes up what's manifesting. If you're positive one day, negative the next, you're never going to have that consistency to actually really achieve something. You need to either stay completely neutral or choose an element that you're going to stay on, whether that be up here on positive or down here on negative. Capricorns and Scorpio, they're naturally kind of down here on the negative end where they don't really expect life to go easy, but they're able to just keep plugging through until they get what they want. There's other people like Leo or Sagittarius that are up here very positive, and if they can keep that positive energy, they do get what they want. If they make it come lower, then that's where dissipation happens. So watch where your energy is for all of these signs, guys. I'm wrapping this video up. Watch where your polarity is because the law of polarity is associated with the law of karma. Whatever your polarity is what's going to polarize the universe, and it's going to give it back to you. All right? So that should conclude the video, guys. If you do have any questions whatsoever, just please let me know in the comments. Aside from that, guys, please like, subscribe. Call me tip for today, guys. Peace.